Hey guys, my name is Chase and I'm a Florida-based voice actor. Today I wanted to give you a behind-the-scenes look into my creative process when I receive a voice acting order. We've got a pretty interesting one today. It is a primordial evil entity trapped in a bumblebee plushie, so that'll be fun. First we'll take a look at the order as it comes in. We'll communicate with the client a little bit, take a look at the script and the directions, and we'll formulate a specific plan as to how to approach it and, the kind of voice acting that we want to do. Then we'll actually get in the booth, do some recording, do a little bit of editing, and send it over to the client and see the final product. So thank you guys for joining me for the video today. Let's get started. Yo, what up, gang? All right, here we are. Let's take a look at this order. Well, let's first sign in. No peeking at my password. All right, guys, we're in. So. First, we will switch to selling. All right, here is my dashboard. Okay, here's my order. Brand new. Funny thing about this order is I have a friend who does videos, and we've been wanting to collaborate a while on his animations, and I was saying to him on the phone, yeah, just let me know when it's ready, I'll send you over some voice lines, and right as I said that, this order came in, so take that as you may, as a sign. Alright, so, this order, let's see. Here's what I very first receive when I get the order. Okay, I ask a few questions. These are fiber generated, so I don't ask those. But here's what I ask. What kind of project are we creating? And she says, hi there. My name is Beakiebee. I'm a YouTuber, VTuber, Twitch streamer from the UK looking for a bit of help with some voice lines for a simple lore video based on the character. It is a fantasy piece with just simple pictures, roughly a 2 to 3 minute video. However, the voice lines for the character I'd like you to portray are minimal. I just feel like they'd add to the project. I've attached the lines I'd like you to read, and then the background of the script too, if that's okay. Okay, cool. So this is a YouTuber. So most of what I do, guys, has been animations, YouTube animations, as well as indie video games, and some other live projects as well, but mostly animations and video games. Okay. What kind of characters would you like to do? What kind of characters would you like me to portray? Use your diction, guys. What are some of their traits? The character you're portraying is called Threx, the Whisperer of Madness, who is a primordial entity, or rather a demon, who later gets trapped into a bee plushie, much to his disgust. He is chaotic, verbose, and dramatic. Think ancient villain with a flair for theater. Well, that's perfect, because I specialize in villain voiceovers, and I am also a theater boy, so that works out. And he's desperate for freedom, both before and after being fated to the bee plushie. Okay, and the last question I ask, how can I best bring your character to life? And she says, by being very overdramatic for before the bee plush would help a ton, as well as being super mad when being put into the bee plush, it would help. I don't know if it'd be funnier to be slightly higher pitched when put into the bee plushie, admittedly. I will leave that to your discretion. This project isn't anything serious, it's mainly something to advertise my new VTuber channel. Okay, so here'll be my process. First, I would look at the script. Okay, lines for Threx. Here's Threx's lines. It looks like she's isolated just them. And then down here, she gives like a full context. These are not my lines. This is just so I can understand where my lines fit. I'm gonna read through this real quick. Alright, so basically, this elf girl born into a magical world with dark secrets. And there is a being, Threx, moi, who is sealed deep underground with chains of law and language, and the elders told her not to mess with him, but she went anyway, because he has untapped power. So, here's the scene. Threx says, an elf. An elf? Brave or foolish? What do you seek, child of sap and spark? She says, my people are dying. Give me the power to fix this. Luckily, I don't voice her. Power, yes, but everything has a price. Free me from my bonds and I will grant you what you seek. Okay. But she knew that releasing Threx would be suicide. So she tricks Threx and puts him in a bee And Threx gets very angry. You put me in a stuffed toy? I am a cosmic nightmare, not cuddly cargo. Ridiculous. Okay, and now she returned to her people with power crackling beneath her skin and a very angry bee plush. So she imprisons this ancient evil in a bee plush and steals his power. I like it. Okay. So, I got a feel. How long will Threx's prison hold? Okay, some foreshadow. Okay. Alright, so typically what I would do, she says her name is Beakiebee on YouTube. So, whenever a game developer or an animator commissions me, I ask if I can see some of their past work because I want to get a feel for the kind of content that they make. So that I can make sure to be in line with that. So let's see, a couple months ago. Achievement hunting. She's a streamer. Definitely in line with the fantasy vibes. It's a me, Astario. Is that Baldur's Gate? Okay. Elden Ring. Alright, so it looks like overall her channel has a very bright, very lively vibe. Lots of anime type characters, lots of edits. So definitely nothing super serious. My Giga Chad court was all too powerful in Crusader Kings 3. It's very, very fun. And got the jiggle effects, okay. Okay. Alright, so, she sent me some more message. Okay, first I just said, and this is how I like to follow up when I receive an order. Hey Becky, thanks for the order. I'll get started on it as soon as I'm able and do my best for you. This sounds like such a fun job, lol. Primordial entity stuck in a bee plushie. Okay. She responded, she said, hi, I realized I could show you pictures from the scenes referenced in my requirements section. So, she sent me some photos. I love it when they attach photos of the character. It definitely helps me to visualize who exactly I am voicing. I really like it when I can actually see the character. So it looks like this is him talking to her of an elf, strong or foolish. And then he's asking, release me from my chains. I'll grant you the power you seek. And here is when he gets stuck in the bee plushie. Cool. Alright. I just told her I checked out her channel. I loved it. I'm honored to be a part of it. Okay, and then right here, I asked her, I said, I'm thinking about trying something new where I do a behind-the-scenes style video of my voiceover process and asked if she'd be okay with it. She said, hi there, thanks for letting me know your intentions. I absolutely love the idea and encourage you to do so. I'm happy you want to try this with my project. So I double checked with her to make sure she'd be cool with me making this video with her project, and she is. So now that we have an idea for the character, we know the lines, we know the general vibe of her channel, we've talked with her, we have the directions. I typically will reread these directions, 4 or 5 times, make sure I'm getting exactly what they're looking for. So let's go with some of the lines. So, she said, ancient villain with a flair for theater. Okay. Ancient villain with a flair for theater. So, I specialize in villains, and I do all different types of villains, and some of them are very flamboyant, some of them are very serious. If she had asked me for serious, it'd be like, an elf, brave or foolish? What do you seek, child of sap and spark? Right, but she didn't want super serious, she wanted it theatrical. So I will give some theatrical flair to that. An elf, brave or foolish? What do you seek, child of sap and spark? Okay, she says she speaks power. Power, yes, but everything has a price. Free me from my bonds, and I will grant you what you seek. So, is that a good amount of theatrical flair? I think it could be. But so typically, I like to give a few different takes, right? So this is only 4 lines. Doing a few takes will be easy. So I think I will give her 3 takes to choose from. The first one will be try to be exactly what she asked for. As I think that she is looking for based on her statement. So I will do that. And then I will give her a more serious version. And then I will give her a more over-the-top version. So she has a few different to choose from. Here we go. An elf, brave or foolish? What do you seek, child of sap and spark? Power, yes. But every gift has a price. Free me from my bonds, and I will grant you what you seek. Power, yes. But every gift has a price. Free me from my bonds, and I will grant you what you seek. Okay. Now, shocked after being tricked and his original plan backfiring. Okay, so there's 2 shocked lines. Wait, what is that? Where's the vessel? Where's the host? You put me in a stuffed toy? I am a cosmic nightmare, not cuddly cargo! You put me in a stuffed toy? I am a cosmic nightmare, not cuddly cargo! Okay. Alright, that is how I think she wanted it. I'm happy with that take. So, now, I will do it in a more serious way, and I will do it in a more theatrical way after that. An elf, brave or foolish? What do you seek, child of sap and spark? Power, yes. But every gift has a price. Free me from my bonds, and I will grant you what you seek. Wait, what is that? Where's the vessel? Where's the host? You put me in a stuffed toy? I am a cosmic nightmare, not cuddly cargo! And now we will go the other direction, a bit more over the top, flamboyant, and see how she thinks of that. All right. An elf, brave or foolish? What do you seek, child of sap and spark? An elf, brave or foolish? What do you seek, child of sap and spark? Power, yes. But every gift has a price. Free me from my bonds, and I will grant you what you seek. You put me in a stuffed toy? I am a cosmic nightmare, not cuddly cargo! Alright. I am happy with these takes. We got some good content. So, we were recording in Premiere Pro. That is where I do all of my voiceover, is Premiere Pro, so let us take it in here and let us edit it. What I do here is I go through, there's a bunch of takes of each of these lines, so I take the best of each version, so she'll get 3 full voiceovers. If this was like an audiobook, right, obviously they're not going to get 3 full versions of an audiobook, or if it's like a long order, but for really short orders like this, I don't mind basically doing the whole thing 3 times. So I will go through, I will take the best parts, and, build out 3 takes for her. And I will remove all the gaps, remove any weird breaths, remove any clicking sounds that my mouth or tongue made. Basically make sure the whole thing has a very nice, seamless flow to it, where it sounds like I just sat down, recorded each thing perfectly, each time through, edit it together, the magic of editing, and make sure it is professional, nice sounding quality. So let's do that. Alright friends, we are all done with that edit now, so we can turn it into the client. 1 day ahead of schedule, even. Let's see, deliver now. Cuddly cargo. Alright, now we say something nice. Let's see. Here is your audio file. I had a great time recording it for you. I gave you many different takes to choose from, some more serious, some more theatrical. Also, since you weren't sure whether you wanted the plush part to be higher pitched or not, I made two versions of each take, one with pitch raised and one with pitch normal. Okay. Alright, so yes, I did. I applied some audio effects for her, so she had more to choose from. If you're happy with the order, I'd appreciate if you took a minute to leave a review. It would help me a lot as a seller. I will link your channel in my video description. When do you think it will be released? Thank you. Okay. Delivered. Boom. Boom, boom. Go through. Yes. Alright, cool. We delivered. I would say, guys, probably about 50% of the time, the client will request a revision. You know, they just wanted to hear something different, or, you know, they would like it a little bit different way. Probably about 50% of the time, they request a revision. 50% of the time, they accept it as is. Hey, fellas, and female equivalent of fellas, gals. Hey, everyone. It is now 11:44 p.m. Night Owl Gang. I just got back from a theater performance that I did after recording that last voiceover, so I kind of got the post-show highs. So we have got some feedback from the buyer. They left some messages, they left a review. So let's see what they thought of our voiceover. She said, Hi, thank you so much for the voice acting. It was amazing. You did a great job and exceeded my expectations. Boom, we killed it, guys. Good job. Thank you for adding my video to your description. I will happily do the same for you. And she said, a couple weeks till the video is out. Once the models are done, I just said, thank you. Here's my channel. You know, this is where my tutorial video that you guys are watching will be. And I said, give me a heads up when it releases. I'll try to catch it live. All right, so the buyer was pleased. We didn't need any revisions. Everything was good. I also got this notification. This is my 68th order on Fiverr, so I'm almost to 70 now. And if I click on this page here, scroll down, it says that she left me a review, but on Fiverr, you can't see the review they left you until you leave them a review. So that way, you know, you'll be honest, and it won't be just like you leave it because they said something mean about you, so now you leave them a 1-star review. You know, they want honest feedback. So I said she was a pleasure to work with, very friendly, and gave a fun and creative project. Pleasant experience all around. 5 stars. Boom, send it. So now we can see what she said about us. Hopefully she said nice things. Hopefully she didn't insult us and make fun of us. But it looks like 5 stars. Amazing, she said. Amazing voice actor, went above my expectations, and I'm so happy with the final results. Thank you so much. Would recommend and gladly come back for more. And it's good. Thank you very much for the good review, guys. I always appreciate good reviews. Thank you, Becky. You were awesome. Becky. And she gave us 5 stars in stellar communication, 5 stars in quality, 5 stars in value of delivery. And particularly noted things that went good were quick responsiveness, politeness, delivery time, attention to details, exceeded expectations, and creativity. So, 68th order on Fiverr was a success. I now have 56 5-star reviews. So, that is very good. I love the fact that I built this reputation up. Alright, so now we wait a couple weeks for her to release the live stream, and we see how it turned out. Well, I wait a couple weeks. You guys wait about 3 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Hey friends, it is 30 days later, and we got the final product here to share. She uploaded it to her channel. Let's take a look.
Guided only by broken maps and her
I really
own
like her art
desperation.
style.
The air grew colder. The stones hummed with forgotten sigils. And at the bottom, in a chamber sealed by arcane flame, she found him.
Ooh, who's she find?
An elf, brave or foolish?
There it is.
What do you seek, child of sap and spark?
My people are dying, demon. Give me the power to fix this.
Power, yes. But every gift has a price. Free me from my bonds, and I will grant you what you seek.
She agreed. But Beakie was no fool. She knew that releasing Frex outright would be suicide. For herself. For the world. And so, as the pact was forged, she prepared a trap. A vessel. Not an elf.
Vessel.
Not a human. Not a relic.
Sure, something he'll love.
But it was something absurd. Something harmless. Something humiliating.
Yeah.
Wait. What is that? Where's the vessel? Where's the host?
Smirk.
Want it out of the chains? No. Well, welcome to your new hive.
You put me in a stuffed toy? I am a cosmic nightmare, not cuddly cargo!
She used the higher
So
pitch.
she returned to her people, with power
Higher pitch
crackling
lines.
beneath her skin, and now a very angry bee in her satchel.
Oh my gosh.
With her new magic, Beakie helped the land slowly heal. Magic began to pulse again.
Good. Good. She helped the land to heal. Very good. I'm glad that trapping the primordial demon in the bee plushie caused everything to have a happy ending. So that is it, guys. Thank you very much for joining. Thank you, Beakiebee, for choosing me to be a part of this. If you enjoyed the video, everybody, subscribe, like. I will be doing more of these in the future as more orders come in. I just recently had another new order that I already started recording for, so stay tuned for that. That is a villain in an RPG game. If you would like to hire my voice, you can find a link to my Fiverr down in the description. I would love to work with you on any type of project. So, have a nice day, my friends.